Hey yo, welcome back to the Italian Film Buff podcast. How are you doing? I'm destroyed in this very moment. This is my cup of espresso number 2025, like the year we are living in, because I need it. So uh, look how tiny. It's so tiny. If you're watching this in video, it's ridiculous. To be honest, it's an optical illusion because I have another cup of coffee. I mean, another espresso cup, mini cup. That anyway, it's from Lavazza. It's not a sponsor, but anyway, it's from Lavazza, and it seems bigger, but it's just a design illusion. Anyway, it's so nice. Look. Enjoy if you're having a coffee or something with me with a donut. Enjoy. Anyway, let's start this episode. It's gonna be nuts. You wanna get nuts? Let's get nuts. But anyway, this episode I'm gonna talk about the smashing machine, but I wanna talk about a couple of TV shows that I'm watching. I wanna talk about Peacemaker Season 2. James Gunn. You're never watched it. You're never going to watch this. You're never going to hear my name, most likely, even if once I write for cinefax.it and I wrote the review for Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 3, and it was shared on Threads or Twitter, I don't remember, but you liked it. So somehow, somewhat, you intercepted that. But anyway, I was the one who wrote that review. Anyway, I don't know. One of my dream. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. One of my dream is to be an extra in a James Gunn movie that maybe dies in a horrible or funny way, or anyway does something ridiculous. That is my dream. Everybody has his dream. This is mine. James, if you hear this somehow, somewhat, please. I'm flying by myself to wherever you're shooting. I don't care. I'll be happy to do it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Peacemaker. I don't know how you do it, dude. Honestly. Do you have any? This guy is 60. James Gunn is 60 years old. And he managed to write Creature Commando. That is fantastic. It was an amazing TV show. I loved it. Creature Commandos, Peacemaker Season 2, Superman. And he has Superman, Man of Tomorrow. What's the title? I don't remember the title of the new movie that is coming out apparently in 2027. How do you do that? I have no clue. Honestly, kudos to you, because it's not just that he's writing a lot and shooting and producing. It's also that the quality of what he's doing, it's insane. I mean, it's a high quality kind of work. He has to stop at some point. I don't know, for some reason, but he's not like he has to. I mean, it's his job. I mean, to be, in all fairness, it's like it's work. It's like if you say, oh, I gotta stop going to the office. I went for 2 months straight. No, you keep going every day of your life till you retire or you find something else. So it's the same for him. I mean, Martin Scorsese is still doing stuff and is way older than James Gunn. But anyway, I'm rambling on. Anyway, Peacemaker Season 2, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but anyway, the reveal of the episode, I mean, some people were like expecting it, but the way it was delivered and the way the follow-up episode make kind of fun about how following Peacemaker, he never realized that plot twist. It's way funnier than the plot twist itself. I mean, it's way funny because you go like, come on, dude, how you didn't realize? And he plays also with the idea that we go like, come on, dude, how you never kind of frame that thing or that other thing, those details? How come? Well, it's fiction, so he can show you whatever he wants to show you in order to make it work. As far as makes sense, whatever is framing, it's all fair game. I mean, it doesn't have the plot twists are bad when they are forced. In this kind, it was in this way it wasn't forced, but you're following Peacemaker. This is what he's seeing and experiencing, and is basically not willing to see what he's supposed to see, so it's fine. And plus it was it's gets along with the scene of Adebayo saying it's not mean. I mean, it's a good person. It's not the smartest person. It's not the smartest tool in the shed, but I mean the sharpest, tool in the shed. But anyway, I love him, and that we have. I mean, we have everything else. But anyway, great. I'm looking forward for the final episode. I'm super hyped for the final episode, and who knows? We see what's going on. I mean, it's one of the best TV show out there this year, hands down. Kudos. And on Apple TV Plus, we have Slow Horses Season 5. I watched the first 2 episodes. They release once per week. They're fantastic already. Gary Oldman, it's freaking amazing. I love the team behind the Slow Horses. They are doing an amazing job with this TV show. It's fantastic. I love it. And with this season, they're basically, it's like if it's a continuing story, it's like The Bear. The Bear is the same thing, because you can say, oh, but every TV show is like that. Not properly. I mean, you have the idea of continuity, but sometimes you can understand there is a kind of a jump between a season and the other one. In this case, it's like everything is happening one after another. It's like a continuing stream. It's like a gigantic movie, actually a gigantic movie moving forward and going on. In a way, gives this feeling this season and the way it's progressing, and I loved it. I mean, I'm absolutely loving it. It's fantastic. The writing is amazing. The acting is amazing. The way it's produced, shot, it's fantastic. It's a new level of television, and it's amazing. I would love to see those kind of. I would love in a very. I mean, selfish way, I would like this season to continue forever, like Columbus, like for 25 seasons. I don't know how much it lasted, Columbus, but I would like to have it on TV for ages. But anyway, Slow Horse is freaking amazing. I started House of Guinness, and I gotta be honest, it's by Stephen Knight. Stephen Knight is the writer and creator of God help me enlighten me in this very moment of I'm in the darkness. Peaky Blinders. Anyway, he's a great screenwriter. I loved him. But this House of Guinness, if you want a fun fact, I don't know, I'm speaking in English, so you could be Australian, American, English, Irish, from Wales, whatever, I don't know. You can be from anywhere in the world. But anyway, in the US and UK was well reviewed. It's fun that here in Ireland, if you talk to people, you can talk with someone that is going to say, oh yeah, my cousin worked on House of Guinness. There are many people that know someone that worked on House of Guinness. But the other fun fact is that more on this. In my school, my son, he goes to school, I hear the teacher, she was talking about, oh, House of Guinness. Yes, one of the girl in the show, she was in this school till she was 10. She was one of the kids in the school. I was like, oh God, everyone is working in House of Guinness. It's fantastic. But anyway, the thing is that in UK and US was very well received and very well reviewed. Here in Ireland, not that much. People are talking about it like steampunk Taito. If you don't know what Taito is, it's from the crisps, the chips. It's this brand of chips that is very famous here in Ireland. Before moving to Ireland, I had no clue that it existed. But basically, people are calling it steampunk Taito, and it's very funny to me because it's like people are not buying it that much because there is a lot of fiction in House of Guinness. And to be honest, the first episode was a tough cookie to swallow. It didn't get me, but it's a very personal thing. Maybe you are loving it or you are going to love it. It's a something that is very personal. I'm starting to get allergic to those kind of story of family conflict and power and stuff like that. At some point they lose me. Anyway, maybe I will continue and it's gonna be great. I don't know, but anyway, I'm enjoying it. What I'm seeing on television so far. I still have to watch Alien Earth. I haven't watched a single episode, and even Andor season 2, and I gotta move because we are. It's already the beginning of October, and I gotta plan the Halloween special for the Italian film buff. I want to talk about horror movies. I want to talk about a couple of horror movies, but anyway. Let's talk about the Smashing Machine. Let's go into this movie. This movie, it's a biographical sport drama written, directed, and co-produced by and edited as well by Benny Safdie. You will remember the Safdie brothers for Uncut Gems. Okay. Good Time as well. It was an interesting crime thriller. And as well, Uncut Gems. It was the movie that basically bring them on the map of some of the best young director out there. And I really loved that movie, and I loved Adam Sandler in it. I believe he's fantastic. But anyway, they split metaphorically. They didn't like they basically they want to take everything. That's the plan, because he directed the Smashing Machine. Benny Safdie directed the Smashing Machine, but his brother Safdie, the other Safdie, sorry, I apologize, Benny Safdie brothers, Benjamin Safdie and Joshua, he's directing Marty Supreme, his solo debut, and it's as well a sport drama. It's a comedy drama, but it's with Timothée Chalamet. He co-wrote it with Ronald Bronstein, and we have Gwyneth Paltrow, Odessa Azon, Kevin O'Leary, and Abel Ferrara, and apparently Fran Drescher. Yes, she's the mother of Marty Super and Timothée Chalamet. But anyway, he's supposed to be released by A24 on the 25th of December in the United States, at least. I don't know in the rest of the world. Probably we're gonna see this in Europe in January, most likely. But anyway, I think they want to tackle the award season pretty hardly with both movies, because we are talking about already The Rock being nominated probably for an Academy Awards, and the movie already won the Silver Lion in Venice, at the International Film Festival in Venice, and it has generally positive review. But what this movie is about, it's basically based on the documentary The Smashing Machine, the life and times of extreme fighter Mark Kerr. Who is Mark Kerr? I had no clue before watching this movie, so thank you for educating me on this character that now I love, because Mark Kerr was basically a wrestler that went into the MMA scene. So he transitioned from that sport into MMA and was a Smashing Machine. It was the beginning of the MMA. We are in 1999. We follow the story from the second half of the 90s, if I remember correctly, till the early 2000s. So it's a pivotal moment in Mark Kerr career. And my personal opinion, when biopic do this, they are fantastic. They are amazing. Hate, it's a strong word. Hate, sorry, it's a strong word. Sorry about that. Hate, it's too strong. But I love when movies. Sorry, I'm trying to find a movie Spencer film because I'm trying to find a director. But anyway, I love when biopic take a portion of the life of a character in order to tell the story of that character. I most of the time I don't like those biopic that try to frame the whole life of a character. They try to tell the story, telling the whole story of the character. I think that it doesn't work. Simply doesn't work. It's too. Um, to me, it's too lazy. To me, it's too lazy, and it's also a lie because you're trying to frame that person as a very important and predestined person from the beginning, from the start. It doesn't work like that. And I don't think that the whole life of a person is interesting. For example, I love Pablo Larraín. He made many biopics. I mean, for example, Spencer, written by Stephen Knight, that we mentioned before. I believe that is the kind of film, of biopic that I like as well. For what is the other one, Jackie, those kind of biopic, I think they work amazingly well because it's a slice of life of that specific character. Spencer, it's such a great movie. I loved it very much. When they released in the theater, I was in awe watching the movie in the movie theater. I think it's fantastic. But anyway, I like when the biopic take just a slice of life, because there are moments in life, pivotal moment in life, or a span of time in the life of a person that it's challenging, or maybe it's a moment where they show who they really are. And in those moments, we can see what we are made of. And I believe that taking that specific moment in history for a person, it's perfect to define who they are. For example, in Spencer, Lady Diana is framed in a moment that it's very important, where it takes a big decision. It's an amazing moment in life, and the way it's done, the way it's shot, the way it's written, it's fantastic. And I believe that movie makes a great justice to the memory of Lady D. So I believe it's fantastic. And in the same way, in this moment, we have to take this character and define him and see who he is in a moment that it's very pivotal for him, because it's a moment where he needs to make something huge that is gonna define his career and is gonna change his life. And he's a pioneer because he's moving into MMA, and MMA wasn't well defined back then. The rules were still changing. They were even trying to ban it. It wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't already the next big thing that then became, and that we now enjoy. I don't like it very much. I'm a boxer. I always liked boxing. I love boxing, and I stayed there. It's my thing. I don't love MMA. It's my personal thing, my personal view on the matter. But anyway, it's very popular right now, and this change is moving his career to be an MMA fighter and win that thing. And he's used to win. He's used to fight and win and dominate. And when he steps into this new thing, he hits a wall, because there is something there. There's a struggle about himself and what he's facing that it's very challenging for him. And it's interesting, his story. Also, one thing that I love about MMA is that I learn about MMA as an adult, but then a couple of years ago, I was rewatching Friends for the first time after years away from Friends. I never watched it again. I was into Friends for ages. Then I grew up and started to watch, I don't know, Scrubs and other TV show that they came out after that. And I kind of forgot about Friends. I stopped watching it. I went into Friends, How I Met Your Mother, The Office, and other stuff. And then I rewatched Friends when my wife, she was pregnant, and we were watching it every day because there was the pandemic, and we were having lunch at home every day because we were working from home. And there is that episode with John Favreau that he plays the love interest of Monica, and he wants to become ultimate champions for MMA. We are basically in that time in history. I knew all along what MMA was, but I just forgot about it because back then it wasn't popular. It became popular later on. And we are in that moment in time. And what I like about this movie is that it's, think about any movie about a fighter, from Rocky to, I don't know, from even Raging Bull, Rocky, The Fighter, Warriors. They, all of them, even Cinderella Man, they have a take that it's pretty similar. Fighting, it's a chance to talk about life, to talk about struggle, to talk how you face life, to talk about how sometimes life it's very difficult or unfair, or how they need to deal with life. And the sport, it's a very good metaphor in order to talk about that, deal with struggle that they have. They are all pretty similar in the way they are built. But another thing is that if we talk about movies that came out about MMA, but in general movie that have fighting in it, there is an element of a macho element with fighting that it's always there, except for a couple of movies, okay? But there is always that element that I hated, honestly. I started play boxing when I was 18, 19, something like that. I'm 38. I still play it. I don't go anymore in a boxing gym. I just go in a regular gym where they have bags, and sometimes I do weights, and sometimes I do boxing. But it's been a while since I actually have been in a fight, because I didn't have a chance anymore to do that. But anyway, I've done it for many years. For at least 5 years, I was training and boxing, actually playing sparring, playing friendly matches and actual matches. I've done for many years. But anyway, I know boxing, and I know the kind of environment that you find in a gym. And my trainer, he hated bully, and he hated people who kind of want to be seen as tough or better than others just because they were playing boxing. He hated those kind of stuff. And if there was somebody in our gym coming in and saying like, I'm the best and whatever, we had a way to put them in his place and to teach him to be humble. He never took that kind of things. And even between us, I was trained sometimes with professional boxer. So with guys that go for the 12th round, 13th round. I don't remember how many rounds there are in professional boxing instead of the amateur boxing, that it's the one that sadly is no longer at the Olympic Games, but that kind of competition with the helmet and everything. But anyway, I was trained with different kind of boxer, and we never had animosity between us. Never had that. There was respect and friendship, and we were punching each other and then having a joke and having a laugh. That's how it was. And even when I had matches with a couple of people and we were laughing a moment before, then focusing and then thinking about the match. But it's like there is this scene in the trailer that it's in the movie. There is an old lady in the doctor office, and she's staring at the rock, and she goes like, do you hate each other when you fight? And he goes like, absolutely not. I love the delivery of that line. Absolutely not. And it's true. Any more occasion during the movie, they show this. There is this relationship of respect and friendship, and the fighting is just on a. There is this relationship of sportsmanship. You're not gonna hate the other guy. You just need to fight because you wanna win. It's just sport. There is no hate involved. There is no machismo involved. And I love that the movie takes this part and he makes a center of the whole way that the movie is told. Okay? It's not a movie if you want to feel like a macho man because you make boxing or MMA or wherever. I always found ridiculous those kind of guy. In the gym where I'm training now, the other guy, there is a guy that I start to call the Street Fighter because it's a guy, I think he plays a little bit of kickboxing, and the way he punched the bags is ridiculous. The guy, it's all over the place and doesn't make any sense what he's doing. I mean, he knows what he's doing in a way, but it's ridiculous that the noises that he makes, the way he shouts. It's I have seen many people training. I've never seen something so over the top and stupid and looking for attention in any way, shape, form possible. But anyway, the thing is that this movie has a refreshing way to frame the story of a fighter. Doesn't matter if it's a winning story, a losing story like in Rocky or other movie. Doesn't matter what is the outcome of the story, but it's a way that it's way different. It's a little bit more human, a little bit more tender, and it's a little bit less about giving you a life lesson through fighting. It's about a guy who was one of the best or the best in what he was doing, and he never knew losing in his life, and suddenly he finds himself in a condition where he's slowing down, he's no longer the best, his life is kind of falling apart, and problems start to pile up. And doesn't matter that he's very kind and nice, and his spirit is not he has demons, but he's not a bad person whatsoever. He's not he's in a way also in a toxic relationship in a way, but the way he's facing it is never violent, is never fucked up in some way like in many other fighting movie. But doesn't matter, because life doesn't take in consideration the fact that you respect others, that you're friendly, that you're honest, that you are well mannered, that you are a decent man. Doesn't matter. Struggle is gonna come, and you need to face it. And it's a story of a guy that is start to face this struggle, and he's gonna win, he's gonna lose, doesn't matter that much. At the end of the day, he's a pioneer, and he's gonna be kind of a guy that we needs to take example from, because he faces his adversity, and he never surrendered to those adversity, just kept going. And he did it with sometimes grace, sometimes falling from grace and needed to come back up. And what I love about the movie is never that emphatic. For example, there is a scene, there is the training scene, the Rocky montage. This is Eye of the Tiger. There is that moment, you know, in Rocky, it's very upbeat, it's very okay, pam, 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 and you go up, okay, I'm super pumped. I'm excited. Okay, I want to go for a run after this movie. You're like this. Eye of the Tiger. Okay, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna be in shape. Push up every morning and roll eggs. You're like this. Okay. This movie doesn't do that. There is a moment where he's training, and you hear "My Way." I did it my way. That it's a great song about someone dealing with everything that he went through in his life, and it's a great song. But the version that we hear in the movie, it's not from Sinatra, it's a different version, and it's less upbeat, it's less Eye of the Tiger, And the whole scene, the training scene, where you go like, okay, bam, 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 or in this case, I did it my way, regrets, I had a few. You should go up, okay? You don't. It's bringing you down in a way. You feel the struggle. You feel that is giving everything he's got, but at the same time, there is some uncertainty. You don't go like, after this is gonna be the ultimate champions forever and ever, is gonna be in the Hall of Fame forever and ever, and everybody's gonna know his name. That's not the kind of story. Because most of the people who now are really into MMA, maybe they know Conor McGregor or somebody else, but they don't know about Mark Kerr. Maybe the more kind of nerd of the sport, they know about him. But the general audience, he doesn't know about him. He's not the kind of icon that people cherish. And that there is no shame in that. He was a pioneer in a moment where there were no... at some point, they talk about a life-changing prize, and it's a life-changing prize for the early 2000s, but it's also for that moment in time for MMA. Today it's completely different amount of money that are changing lives as a word, as stuff, as a price. Okay, so it's that kind of movie, and it's gonna tell you a story of a guy that it's not a loser, is not a winner. It's a guy that faced whatever he needed to face, and he learned something. He learned lessons, and the way he shot, it's sometimes very personal. Sometimes we are very close to Mark, we stay with him. Sometimes we are like spying on him. Looks like we are taking a distance, because it is a moment where he's no longer that big as a man, because he's struggling and is facing something that it's gonna put his career and this idea of who he is in danger. And so we kind of spy on him, because we gotta watch this intimate moment unfold from afar and see that he's it is not is not this invincible machine. Okay, as a man, as a person, doesn't matter if it's charming and well educated, even in this facing his demon, is very that he never sounds like I don't know, somebody with some level of let's say addiction or whatever from some kind of substances. But anyway, he has that struggle as well. But I don't, it's difficult to describe, because it's a different take to those kind of movies. You're never gonna have something that stays with you because it pumps you up. Okay, it's not like, for example, even in Cinderella Man, it's a very dramatic movie, but has those moments that are very noble and gives idea of strength, but it's a different story. And even Rocky, he loses at the end of the first Rocky, but anyway, he wins in life because he learned something. This is not that kind of movie that brings you up, that push it up in a higher place. It's kind of a movie where you find at some point a sort of, I don't know, a bliss, a weird bliss, because in the way it works, its stuff ends, you have a sort of feeling of bliss that the character managed to find his space and is fine with that. And it's a weird way of facing this movie. And we have as well Emily Blunt. She's fantastic in the movie because she's playing the girlfriend and then the wife of this of Marker. And for the kind of character that it is, I believe that another actress could have not have the the intelligence to portray this character with dignity and without going over the top. She doesn't go over the top. It's a character that is kind of it's not a perfect character. She has her own struggle. She has her own demons. She's kind of toxic for Mark as well, and Mark is kind of toxic for her at some point. But it is played with grace and without kind of making fun in a way. She never looks stupid or simple or I don't know how to say it. She never looks a simple-minded character like or a stereotype of a character. She's kind of a little bit more complex, and she has her own naivety and her own. Sometimes she's very self-centered, like he is in other moments. But I like how the two of them, they play very well on the screen. I never imagined, I gotta be honest, I never imagined to see one day Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, with Emily Blunt in a movie, in a drama, playing together. It's a kind of concept that you go like, okay, in Family Guy, they're doing as a bit, making those kinds of things up. It's or a BoJack Horseman kind of thing. You never imagine that can happen in real life, but it happened, and it's fantastic, and it works because I believe that Benny Safdie is very good in directing his actors. It's just not that they are good as actors, it's just that he's very good in directing them. Because The Rock, if we see a Dwayne Johnson, for the first time he has to face a role where he needs to play for the role. But in the past, it was the role playing for him. I mean, it was just stepping in the movie with his charisma, and it was basically Dwayne Johnson or The Rock all the time in every single movie. There is never a movie where he goes like, oh, okay, I believe that is, I don't know, whatever the name of the character is. You go like, oh, Dwayne Johnson, there we are. You never believe in the character he's playing. It's always took over by the charisma that he brings to the character. That is the Dwayne Johnson charisma, the Dwayne Johnson persona as The Rock in the ring and outside the ring. And in the movies, he created another persona that is Dwayne Johnson in action movies or comedy action or whatever action he's playing. But in this case, he has a character that kind of resonates with his personal story, because his father, he was a fighter, he was a wrestler, if I remember correctly as well, but he wasn't the kind of successful wrestler that he turned out to be as a wrestler himself. And he knows the struggle. He knows kind of, I think he managed to find a way to play this character because he knows in a way this character very well, even if it and the thing is that he works very well with his voice. The way he changed his voice, it doesn't just change face because probably prosthetic or the hair and everything, but it changes well his way of talking or moving around in the scene. You believe in him. You believe that is Mark Kerr, and you watch the movie and you believe in Mark Kerr. You don't think about Dwayne Johnson, to be honest. He is very good in the movie. And I believe they have a good chemistry in the movie. They work well together. And I believe the movie works. The movie, it's very good. I believe the movie, it's fantastic under so many levels. But to be honest, if I gotta add a personal thoughts, I appreciate many things about this movie. I appreciate the fact I've seen it was shot in 16 millimeters, if I remember correctly, and he has a fighting scene shot in IMAX, and in general, the fighting scene are shot in digital, but it's a mix of digital and film, and I believe some part are amazing to see. It was a joy to watch this movie in a movie theater. I gotta be honest, it's fantastic. I loved it. I love the directing choice that Benny Safdie took about this movie. I love how he shot. I love the mise en scene. I love the Rock. Oh, sorry, Dwayne Johnson with Emily Blunt. I love them together. I love how they decided to talk about fighter under a different light, using a different way of telling the story. I think that the movie works, although at the same time I think it's not a movie that it's gonna kind of be there for the history books. That's one of those personal considerations that I do every time. I mean, it's Raging Bull, I believe Rocky, The Fighter. I believe there are those movies that they're gonna be there. Not sure about The Fighter, but anyway, there are some boxing movies that are gonna be there. You're gonna be okay if we think about a great movie about fighter. Those are there. Okay, the Smashing Machine, I don't think it's there. I don't think it has never a moment that you're going to cherish. There is no moment where you're gonna say, wow, this scene, I remember this scene, it was very powerful, it was very strong, it was a very good scene, and it worked so well, and I remember the line, I remember the actor, their expression. I can't put my finger on a scene that gave me that kind of vibes. And so I think it's a movie that it's gonna I mean, it's there. People are gonna like it. People are going to enjoy it. It's not a macho movie about fighting. It's a movie about Mark Kerr. It's a movie about facing adversity. It's a movie about being okay in not being the best of the best in whatever you do. And it's something that is very important for today, because even despite the actual outcome, people are going around talking themselves about the best of the best around. Doesn't matter what's the outcome, and this is not healthy, whatever happened. And it's also a movie about feeling trapped, feeling like locked in a moment in life and not being able to move forward or backward. You don't know where to go. You're just stuck in the middle. And the last thing that I loved about the movie is that the ending. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm just gonna say that in the end there is a choice. Benny Safdie takes a choice about how to give an homage to Mark Kerr that I really loved. Honestly, it's meta cinematic in a way. In a way, you can say that, but I loved it because it's a way to give a proper kudos to Mark Kerr and to include him in this tale. And I think it works. It works splendidly, and I think it's in sync with the mood of a movie where the fighter are not just those machos just grinding their teeth and punching each other and dating and talking shit to each other. It's a movie where there is a respect, there is a sportsmanship, there is friendship, and it's fantastic how this goes on and on till the end of the movie. And it's not just rewriting or reality, but an actual reality of what those fighting sports are. And I believe that the movie does it very, 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 very well. It's very well put. And so I loved it. I loved it. I don't think it's gonna be one for the history books. I think it's a good movie. I think an audience out there will love it, because you don't need to be a MMA enthusiastic to love the movie. You don't need to love fighting sports to love this movie. you can enjoy it whatever you like, and I think it's gonna resonate with some people because of the different things that he says about the sport and about those kind of things. But anyway, this is my take on the Smashing Machine. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you are going to watch the movie. Let me know what you think about the movie or the stuff we discussed before I started to ramble on about the movie. Anyway, the comments are yours. Be considerate, don't write stupid dumb shit. But I know you're smart. Vote the podcast, share it, and see you next time. Ciao ciao. See you later. Bye bye. Bye bye bye. Ciao ciao. Ciao bye. Ciao bye.